Hello guys, chinedu is my name. I want you guys to watch this video.
I'm in law.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, I
Are
was the
you
first
are
thing
you
that.
did you go to did you go to law school?
Yeah, yeah. You
So
you you named my profession first and what men avoid.
yeah, yeah. I did that for a reason. Because that's the top profession men, high value men avoid. That's exactly right.
Hmm.
Exactly right.
I don't think that is necessarily the case. I mean, I
Well,
understand that you.
how many high value men have you ever had? I mean, I'm sorry, I didn't just pull this out of my ass. I've been doing this for
No, I know.
years.
I believe you.
Gentlemen, ladies, the top two professions that men want to avoid with a passion: law, psychology, or psychiatry. Two, no man wants to sit around and be analyzed, and no man wants to deal with a woman to where they end up breaking up with him, and she knows how to use the law.
Right.
So you ladies can think whatever you want. I'm telling you what it is. So let's get back to. And by the way, you never. How old is your daughter?
She's 11.
Well, were you and her father together a long time?
We were together before we got married. It's interesting because we were together and
You
then
were
we got.
together before you got married.
No, well, I'm saying we had a relationship for like 5 years, 5 years, and then we got married, and then I got pregnant like right after we got married, and then the relationship broke down. The having a child like
Okay,
didn't give.
hold on. You were together 5 years. You got married. You got pregnant, and then who ended the relationship?
I would like to say he did
Who
because of
filed for divorce?
he behaved. I did.
Okay, then you ended the relationship.
Yeah.
All right, the relationship didn't break down. You divorced your husband.
It broke down. He
You
put his
divorced
hands
your
on
husband.
me.
You divorced your husband.
Yes.
You can say whatever it is. I'm just looking at the facts. You filed for divorce. You divorced your husband.
Correct.
So I categorize women like you for whatever fact, for whatever reason, as home wreckers. You had a home that you wrecked it. You were married, you got pregnant, had a kid, then wrecked your home.
No, because he put his hands on me, so he wrecked our home.
Okay, he put his hands. Okay, now I'm gonna say something. And you were just a shrinking violet in this situation. You were
No,
sitting. You were sitting.
I'm not a shrinking
Okay,
violet.
all right. So when you say he put his hands on you, you were sitting on the couch or at the dinner table or whatever. He just came in the door and started whooping your ass.
No,
Was this in the middle of an argument?
he was, yes.
Uh-huh. And you know that man for how many years?
I knew him for about 6 at that point.
Uh-huh. And he had been violent before?
He had been like subtly violent when I was
Had he been
pregnant.
violent before?
Yes,
Yes. No. Meaning had he put his hands on you
yes,
before you got married?
yes. Oh, before we got married? No, no,
Okay.
no.
See, a lot of stuff that I don't like weaponized victimhood. And oftentimes when women come in here, you talk about abuse and violence and stuff like this. But were you verbally violent or emotionally abusive with your husband?
I respect that because I was.
Were you? That's a yes or no
Oh,
before you
I
said.
didn't realize you said were you. I thought you said when you.
I
Yes,
assumed you are, but I'm asking.
yeah, I was.
So
I
let
was.
me ask you. Seeing though you said you the marriage broke down because he put his hands on you, you put your mouth on him.
Did, yeah.
What does that rank? Is it worse for a man to put his hands on a woman or for a woman to put her tongue on him? I'm asking you seriously.
I mean, honestly, it's bad either way. That was
I said which
almost
is
11
worse.
years
I said
ago.
which is
So,
worse.
which is worse?
Yes.
In different circumstances, they're
No, it's
probably both
not. Which is worse?
bad.
Which is worse?
I would
Physical or
say physical
psychological?
hands.
Ma'am,
Well,
ma'am,
no,
ma'am.
I don't know.
Really? Really? Really?
Probably psychological. I don't
Thank
know.
you.
I don't
Thank
know.
you. There are things that you can remember somebody said to you when you were a child. Well, you can't remember the pain, See, this is why I say that I don't just believe all women, because I don't know men who just start whooping women's butts for no reason. You guys go into situations where you get back with a man and you just don't know when to stop. You want to keep provoking and talking and this and that. And all of a sudden, let her tell. How many times is it you think you've told this story where you said he ended it because he put his hands on you and people just listen to that?
No,
Well, why didn't you say the marriage broke down because I was verbally violent and emotionally abusive? Why didn't you say that?
because you were saying that I was a homewrecker. I probably wouldn't have mentioned it if you didn't cast me in a negative light.
You cast him in a negative light. You said the marriage broke down. It didn't break down. You filed for divorce. You filed for divorce, and you said, well, I did that because he put his hands on me. And I said, okay, that means you had no part to play in this. I'm asking you, why instead of saying he put his hands on you, why didn't you come in and say the marriage broke down because I was verbally violent and emotionally abusive? Both things happened. True or false, counselor?
True.
Then why didn't you come in and saying what you did first, counselor?
Because I feel as though, considering all the facts involved, I don't feel as though I deserve to be treated the way I was treated. My child was like months
Ma'am,
old.
your child or your child or is
Our
his child?
child,
Right.
months
So if
old.
you were so you were verbally violent and emotionally abusive. He deserved to be treated that way.
No, neither of us.
Right. But see, in this country and the way we do stuff is women can always do what you just did. Weaponize victimhood and make it to where the man hit me and that's supposed to override everything else. When we know that's not even the case. How tall are you?
5'8".
Dress size?
I'm sorry.
Dress size?
8, 10.
How tall was your ex-husband?
Sorry.
How tall was your ex-husband?
He was 6 foot,
Mm-hmm. How much did he weigh?
like 200, maybe 195.
How much do you weigh?
I'm like 158.
5'8", dress size 8?
8, 10. I mean, I just wore a dress today to work. That was 8.
Okay. All right. About in the range, 150, 160. So he's 190, you're 160.
He was a lean guy. You know, he wasn't a big guy.
Right.
He was some big truck. He wasn't.
Right. My point is, ma'am, you came in here trying to craft a narrative where the onus was outside of you.
No.
Ma'am.
You kind of shifted to my marriage. I kind of wanted to talk about my career and finding a man.
Well, what is a man going to find is the question.
What do you mean?
Any man who's listening to what just happened knows exactly what I mean.
So explain it to the women that don't understand.
The women who sit around and blame men for what they do. Women like you who come in and craft narratives, lie by omission, deflect, obfuscate, to the point to where I have to sit down and treat you like a hostile witness to get you to admit you have been verbally.
It takes loyalty and respect to sustain a marriage. This young lady used her husband to practice her profession. You don't have to be smart with your spouse. If you can apply wisdom, be loyal to your spouse, respect your spouse. Don't verbally abuse your spouse all the time and expect your spouse to respect you, to love you. At some point, your spouse might lose control. Guess what? The person can become physically abusive. Everything is very explicit on this video. I'm not encouraging anybody to fight physically, but you can walk away if you don't want to continue being in an abusive relationship. Do not use your mouth to destroy your good relationship. It takes time. You can imagine she was asked if this man was physically abusive in the early part of relationships. She said no. So she used her mouth and destroyed this man, and this man became abusive. So she destroyed her marriage. Not that her marriage broke down, but it was difficult for her to acknowledge that. So when you have a good man in your life, be very, very sensitive what you say with your mouth. Sometimes our mouth can be very destructive. Treat people how you want people to treat you. If you pay attention, she was asked, so, there is no man that can just wake up in the morning and start punching the wife. If any person that does that, that means the person has mental problem or the person is psychotic. So no normal human being, no normal man can just wake up one day and become aggressive. The abuse, verbally abuse, has been constantly existing, coming out from the woman's side often and often, and the man could not contain it anymore. But he should have walked away. That would have made him a real man. He lost control, and the marriage ended. So I'm advising you right there, who is watching this video, be careful what you say to your spouse. Respect your spouse. When you think that you're overwhelmed with whatever is going on with you, don't use your mouth to destroy your husband, to abuse your husband continuously and expect nothing to happen. You gotta be careful. So share this video to whoever that you think will watch this video and benefit from this video. Subscribe to my channel for more content. Thank you and bye-bye.